Talk With Deezy Podcast, where we focus on building, connecting, and networking. I got a special guest on here today,
Hey,
Tracy.
y'all.
How you doing, Tracy?
Happy to see you.
Good to see you again. I feel like it's been a minute, but it's only been a few months.
For sure. Yeah.
So, how VA treated you? You've been down here for a little minute.
Oh my God, I've been here for way too long.
Oh yeah.
I've been here for a couple of days. I went out to Richmond, DC, went to my favorite spot. So I had a good time. You know, seeing my family meant a lot to me.
For sure. Now you from Virginia, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What part?
Oh my gosh. I don't ever talk about this. I'm from Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Okay.
Crossroads of the Civil War. You know, not much going on. Very small town.
For sure.
But that's where I'm from.
What was your upbringing like in Virginia?
My upbringing. Typical for a military brat, government kid, you know, just having a lot of pressure to be, you know, getting good grades. I did not get good grades at all.
Okay.
I was failing everything. But once I hit, you know, community college, you know, I went off to my dream school, ODU, and made things happen. So I lived a pretty basic suburban life.
Okay. So TracyVA, you go by TracyVA. Can you, I mean, it's pretty simple, but can you break down
The VA part.
Yeah.
Like
what made
how
you
the
put,
name.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a really great question. So J. Cole is my favorite rapper. I used to be known as Tracy the blogger when I first came into the scene.
Okay.
And then the guy I was dating at the time, he was like, that's corny. Like, you need to change that because you're not always going to be a blogger.
Right.
You know, I wanted to be a journalist.
It's more to the game. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way J. Cole ties into that, you know, his Twitter name is J. Cole NC. So I call myself Tracy VA.
Okay, cool. Now, you in Georgia now. You relocated. What made that happen?
Oh my gosh, this media career I'm in.
Yeah.
I knew Atlanta was the place to be. It was hard, you know, drove that 8 hours to Atlanta for my dream. I didn't know what I was in for, but I made it happen.
Okay. Now, break down what it is you offer, you know, like what you do. Like, what do you bring to the media industry?
I'm a journalist, but the main thing is the interviews. I'm also a publicist, too. That kind of just goes hand in hand with just being a journalist. I never wanted to be a publicist, but I was so connected in industry. People were just like, hey, can I pay you to do this? And I was just like, hell yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So publicist, journalist, and an interviewer.
Okay. Now, what led you to doing all of this?
Oh, my gosh. Since 2016, you know, when I was a kid, there was signs, you know, that showed that was going to be my path. Like I would do little things like pick up a microphone, pretend like I was interviewing when I was a baby.
Okay.
But yeah, 2016, I was just listening to this album called The Life of Pablo, Kanye West. And I was just like so in love with it. I started thinking about, dang, I need to write.
Right.
And I didn't know what to do. So I was like, maybe I should start a blog. And then from there, I found a passion for just reporting on the industry, reporting on music, reporting on what I hear, and most of all, just putting light on up-and-coming people.
Okay.
And that's what kind of put steam behind everything I did.
Okay. Now, from what I see, you're a very busy woman. You know, you stay here, you stay there. What drives you on a day-to-day basis to like kind of keep up with that pace, you know, keep yourself together?
It's hard. That's probably the hardest thing in this industry is staying motivated and staying sane, honestly. But just knowing that I give people a platform and I give people hope and I, you know, let people get their shine and I help people get heard. That's probably like the only motivation I have behind it.
No, I can respect that. Now, it's always good to be able to service other people in a positive way. Now, recently, the BET Awards. I mean, I know I personally saw you on the screen a few times.
You saw me?
Yeah, I did. What was that feeling like?
It was surreal. Oh my gosh. Just seeing myself, but seeing those cameras in front of me was just crazy. But it was special. It was goals, and I would definitely do it again.
Okay, cool. What was that feeling like interviewing young Jeezy, being able to ask him just a simple question? You know, what was that? Because you know that's not a minor artist. You know that he's successful. Established.
Funny story, I wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You notice everybody's dressed up and I'm in like a bright pink blazer.
Right.
I was not supposed to be there. Thankfully, I had a blazer in the trunk of my car. Yeah, so I snuck into that party.
I got you.
I snuck in and I knew somebody that was in there, but he was like, I can't help you get into this party. And I was like, okay, bet. I'm going to get into this party. And I already had the question, so I seized the moment once he hit the carpet. But just interviewing Jeezy, like his whole aura is just boss and just a goat. So
yeah, for sure, I can see that.
I was like literally in the presence of like a rap god, I guess. So it was a dope feeling. And I asked him a question. He was cool.
Okay. I did peep that, you know, you did get to ask Tootie Raw like about his pops. I guess they're having the input on him and his lyrics and his music. Do you feel like artists face more criticism from their lyrics these days than they did like maybe a decade or two ago?
Oh, for sure, especially like with all the cap that's going on. So they're just like, you got your artists out there that pretend like they live that certain life. So you're like already getting criticized. Like, nah, he don't live that life. Like Tootie Raw, like he's the son of a famous celebrity rapper. So of course, like I had to ask him that question because I just want to know, like, how does it feel to be the son of somebody? Like, are people judging you? Like, what do people think of you or say about you? Because he was talking about ass and titties, you know, I said that in the interview.
Right.
So I was just like, dang, like I wonder how your father feels about that. So I had to get that perspective.
I got you. What do you feel now? Of course, we just spoke on two, but what are a couple more like iconic moments of last year? Because we're in a new year that stuck to you.
2023. Oh my gosh. Wow. Whew. Honestly, I would say I got to work with one of my favorite rappers. I have a list, you know, J. Cole, Lucky, you know, 1000 Band Fani. Me and him are actually like, we built a friendship from there, but I got to work with him and be his publicist. And, you know, he's the underground GOAT. I don't know if you ever like listened to 1000 Band Fani, but people wanted another interview out of him. So when I worked with him, I was like, let me get this interview so he could tell like where he's at, you know, update them and put it back in the spotlight. And me doing that interview for him and, you know, putting him on that platform and seeing all the comments underneath, like, whoever did this, thank you so much. Oh my God. Like, it gave me like, yeah, like certified my purpose, putting other people in the light.
Okay. And I know I can relate to this because I'm from Virginia. So I know me going back and forth to Georgia, I can tell the music scene is different. But what's your take on that? Like, how would you distinguish being in Virginia and being in Georgia? Like, can you tell? Like, what's some differences you've seen from doing what you do?
In Atlanta, they treat music like a sport. Like, the kids grow up, they're like, I'm gonna go to the league. Like, their parents are like grooming them. Like, you're gonna be like the world's best rapper. Like, but in Virginia, it's like, I'm gonna just do this shit for fun, you know? But yeah, in Atlanta, they take that shit serious. Like, no games, you know, they groom themselves to be rappers. And in Virginia, it's more like I'm gonna just do this shit, you know, look cool for my friends. And yeah, that's the difference I see.
I got you. How was the Migos listening party? I saw you were there. It looked like you was pretty close to the action.
It's right there.
Yeah.
That was so hard. I was just talking about that day yesterday. I don't know. It was an eerie feeling when I was there, honestly. Maybe it was just the ambiance. I don't know how much of the footage you saw, but the theme was like silver, like I forgot, metallic, something like that. And so it looked like we were in heaven. Like there was like even smoke. It felt like we were in heaven. So it's crazy. Like that's my last time. Like I felt like I was like in heaven with Migos.
Now, unfortunately, you know, we, as you know, in the music industry, we did, in the world, you know, we did suffer the loss of Takeoff. How did that feel with that being so soon after the, you know?
One of the biggest moments of my career was before I was with thisis50.com, I was at Respect Magazine. That's how I got my start. And that's how a lot of people like know me. So we did the first cover I was ever involved in, like my name is in the credits. It was the Migos cover. It was when they just dropped Bad and Bougie, like they were coming through swinging, you know, Offset, Takeoff, and Quavo on the cover. And that moment was so special to me. I got it framed. I think my dad paid like $300 to like, it's like a plaque on my wall. So it's in my office. So when he passed, I was like, dang, like this plaque is like, it doesn't have the same. It's like, dang, he's not here no more. So Migos played a very important part. And also, like my biggest work on Complex Magazine, like that was a Migos story. So when he passed, I'm not going to lie, like I did kind of just take an emotional shift.
Yeah.
It's like, dang, I can't.
I believe that.
it impacted me hard, honestly.
Definitely, I'm sure, man. Our prayers go out to him and his family.
Yeah. As a journalist, like, they don't talk about the connections you get with these artists.
They don't.
It's real.
Now, Club Tracy, can you break that down for me a little bit and for the people?
So everybody knows me as just like a really like bubbly, like lit person. And I love shedding light on people. So I used to just be in my crib. Like, I used to club a lot. I used to be at everybody's section. So I got to a point I was like, I'm just going to have the club in my crib, get the hookah in there, get the bottles in there for me and my friends. Right. And we just started calling it Club Tracy. And that was just a joke. And then I was like, I need to do something like a showcase or just something. And then my friend Chase, shout out to Chase Management. She was like, you need to do like a plug and play. I was like, what do I call it? And I was like, I'm gonna call it Club Tracy. So I can give people, a platform, people can network, but they also get that Tracy Club vibe. So that's that Club Tracy shit.
Okay. Offering more to the industry now. What do you feel is different than what everybody else offers? If you had to just name a couple things.
From the Club Tracy to everybody else?
Right.
Me, I don't think this goes out. They're probably gonna be watching this like, okay, girl, but there's really nobody else like me. Like, I'm fun. Like, this is like really who I am. Like, I'm really friendly. Like, I'm really, turned. And I'm also a journalist, and there's not that many, people like that. So it can't be replicated because I'm actually like having fun with people. I'm taking shots with people. Like,
right.
It's like I'm having my own party in the club, my section, but I'm at a plug and play.
At a plug and play, okay. What do you have in the future?
In the future,
we on the new year, so what's some of your goals?
Oh my gosh, I want to build on my social media management services. It's kind of like being a publicist, but just running and building their presence online. I feel like I would be really great at that, being that I've built an amazing presence for myself online. And I'm continuing to build TracyVA Media, which is my media company that I have in ATL. That was that office you came through where I did the interviews, hip hop news, and just really continuing to be real, relevant, and resonating within the industry, and that's the tagline.
Okay, cool. Much respect to you. Where can individuals find you on social media for those who don't know you yet?
For sure. Get to my TikTok first off, Tracy from VA. Follow me on Instagram at Tracy Mitchell VA, and don't follow my Twitter because it's locked and you can't get into it.
Okay. I want to thank you again for coming through before you head back out to the A. And until next time.
Till next time. Thank you, Deezy.